So obviously, at the moment, hotels are gearing up to reopen, hopefully July the 4th, and a lot of them are detailing in their new protocols about new measures and new innovations that they're taking on to replace, not personal service, but to replace more human interaction. So I guess it's presented more of an opportunity for hoteliers to embrace more technology, especially with rules and regulations surrounding distancing. So what sort of innovations do you guys offer that could help with this guest journey?
Yeah, I think I mean, just in terms of the innovations themselves, we've been looking at a number of things. I think what's probably quite important at this stage is that hotels initially sort of check with their providers first, just to see what sort of turnkey solutions they might be able to incorporate in this. I think from our perspective, if you look at the sort of the touchless message, people are now referring to this low touch economy. And I think a really good example of that is Hilton's Clean Stay program. So they're actively promoting their contactless check-in via digital key or mobile access. They're looking at things like reducing pens, papers, guest directories in their rooms. So again, with our mobile access solutions, you could potentially place the guest directory in the app and also place a notepad in the app for guests to make notes. And also you can do things like push notifications to the app as well. So a good example of that might be, again, with their Clean Stay program, is they're doing deep clean on guest bedrooms. So they can push a notification to your mobile to say deep clean's been done and the room is now ready, and then you can proceed to the hotel. Now, as far as dormakaba is concerned, we're looking at a number of sort of hygiene infection protection solutions. So if you think about the guest journey, you arrive at a hotel, you're probably faced initially at the front entrance with, say, a sliding door or an automatic door into the premises. So depending on what policies and guidelines the hotels want to implement, you can do things like put a safe checkpoint tower in place at that location, and you can link it into the automated entrance if you wish to. And what that can do is you can provide things like hand sanitizer dispensers. You can do elevated body temperature checks. You can even check if somebody's wearing a mask, if that's what you want to do. I think in addition to that, because we offer full access control solutions, you can link them into using thermal video cameras as well. So you can do remote temperature checks. So those sorts of solutions that will be in place, I would imagine quite shortly. People counting solutions is another area. So if you think about, say, the bar area, a restaurant, a function room within the hotel itself, it will be possible either just using a very simple standalone solution or maybe interfaced, say, to a dormakaba automatic door, that you can manage the people flow into those areas. So you can set capacities, you can monitor occupancy, and through real-time indicators, which are either a set of lights, a red, green light, for example, or maybe a dashboard, you can limit the number of people entering those areas, and it will count them back out again. So the capacity numbers will keep going up and down. So there's that area as well, and then a couple of other areas for sort of hygiene and touchless solutions. So we do glass products, so you could put, say, hygiene screens on the front desk. So where you still have guests traditionally who are going to check in at the front desk, then that obviously protects them and the front desk staff. And then the other things that we're looking at is what we call antimicrobial tapes. So you can wrap those around the door handles of the guest room locks, okay? And they're classed as sort of safe handles film, and they will offer 24/7 protection for about 6 months, I think is the guideline. And then ultimately, again, if you think about that guest journey, things like corridors, for example, just automate the corridor doors opening and closing. So you can have sensors or switches within a proximity that will pick up the motion of a guest walking towards that door and will automatically open the door for them and allow them to go through. So if you think about that whole theme, it's all about, you know, this sort of touch-free journey, you know, minimizing risk and enabling the hotels really to instill confidence, both for them, but also for the guests themselves.
Yeah, it sounds like you've got it covered.
Well, we hope so. We hope so. Yeah, but there'll be other people bringing those types of products to market, I'm sure. Yeah.
I mean, in terms of traditional keys and mobile access solutions, what's the benefits that mobile solutions have over keys?
Well, I think first of all, you're not necessarily disadvantaged in terms of implementing mobile access, because generally any hotel can implement a mobile app. So whether it be a small sort of mom and pop hotel, whether it be an independent, whether it be a major chain, you will be able to use mobile access. They're very secure. So I'm sure, like me, you've probably lost a guest key card or two during your time when you stayed in hotels. I can honestly say I've never lost my mobile phone, so that's a positive. But also the phone itself is secure, because if you think about when you access your phone, you're either entering a PIN number, for example, or you're using biometrics, such as a fingerprint, to access your phone. So you've got that first level of security. The second level of security, which is really important, is the deployment of the digital key itself. Okay, so we pride ourselves through our Legit Connect service of providing end-to-end encryption. So we know for sure that the request for the key and the delivery of the key to the phone is completely secure. Okay, so again, it's all about that guest confidence. It's all about managing the risk for the hotel in that sense. The phone is contactless, so again, you know, that plays back into the sort of hygiene message. It plays into the reduced touch point message. And for the hotel itself, when you're looking at what it does for them, you know, let's look at things like increasing their operational efficiency. So if you can reduce the number of front desk personnel, for example, because you've got more guests who are now bypassing reception and going straight to room, and so you can either potentially reduce headcount, or you can redeploy those staff to offer and sell more premium services to the guests. Also, you with the loyalty apps that a lot of the chains have, of course, they provide the facility to book directly. So that helps them to increase their margins, because they're not necessarily having to pay commission, for example, to an online travel agent. Okay. And ultimately, through a full service app, they can sell more. You know, they can promote more of their services and facilities for the guest. So the big thing for the major chain certainly has been this brand loyalty, which kind of drives this direct booking philosophy. So I think those essentially probably summarise the major benefits.